It was exceptionally quiet overnight. I have had some interesting conversations with people in key positions, and they believe the reason it's so quiet and why we have gotten so many NDAs is because the original plan, which was Tier 1, Tier 2, etc., has been altered and it will now happen at one time. All notices will now come at the exact same time. So that is why they think we are seeing a lot of NDAs and quiet. That is their opinion, and it makes sense. It would be impossible to stop if they do everything all at once. No one could throw a curve or hiccup in it. It would juggernaut straight through. I am still hearing it will happen this month. This was the general that was the spearhead when we went to Iraq. Do you understand the power of what General Flynn just said to the whole world? Exactly what we've been telling you about the Iraqi dinar versus the American dollar. Exactly what we've been saying about the exchange rate. They're de-dollarizing. They're lowering the value of the American dollar in their country because it adds value to their currency, their national currency that they are soon to introduce to the Iraqi citizens. The president has signed the budget finally into law. What does that mean for Iraq? How does that benefit those who are hanging on to the Iraqi dinar? Finally, it is set in stone. Iraq has passed a 3-year budget. Infrastructure is going to be big on here. There has been a ton of money set aside to start investing into Iraq. We should see unemployment numbers start to go down and more people contributing to the tax payment. This is exciting for Iraq. As long as the corruption people don't start showing their true colors, everything should be really good. So congrats to Iraq. They're getting ready to float the currency. They're getting ready to introduce their sovereign national currency. That's why they called back all the executive-level bank managers back to Iraq. Retired U.S. Army Lieutenant General, the writing that's on the wall is this shift to a central bank digital currency system is going to change the very nature of the strength of the U.S. dollar globally. I see this happening in the next 90 days, not the next 20 years. I think this is going to happen very quickly. What Iraq is saying, look, in order for our sovereignty to be maintained, we've got to strengthen the dinar, their version of the dollar, and lower the value of the U.S. dollar, and we've got to stop using the U.S. dollar as the currency of choice when we do trade agreements, when we do business. When we do any kind of monetary activity inside of Iraq, they want to start using the dinar, which means it should drive the value of the dinar up and the value of other currencies down, meaning the U.S. dollar. What it means to me after spending 23 years of my life there, but after the U.S. has spent the better part of 30 years in Iraq fighting, it's just telling me this is a big sort of slap in the face of the United States of America, the fact that they are moving back to their version of their currency, the dinar, and lessening the role of the U.S. dollar. If you want to have a sovereign country, you got to have your own currency, and essentially that's what they decided to do. President approves the budget. It's in our media news. We now have the budget. The Minister of Trade is on the news channel 1 saying Iraq is in the process of doing all that is needed to become members of the WTO. The news is also showing anti-money laundering committees, talking about ways to deter corruption, and also talking about the dollar exchange rate. Iraq's president ratifies record $152 billion budget criticized by IMF for too rosy projections. In other words, unless there is a change in value, Iraq cannot pay those bills. It is clear to me Iraq is expecting a substantial change in value. Also, an article that they were signing the HCL law today. It was a big day in Iraq.